Here we are back with another rebuild on Madden 23, and this time it is a team that, believe it or not, very well could be, in my opinion, the hardest team to rebuild in the game. I don't want to go too far into it, but if you think of some of the worst teams in the game, you know, in real life, if you will, the Bears, franchise quarterback in the game in a real life, I still think people are getting way too ahead of themselves with Justin Fields, even though he's trending in the right direction. What other teams? Like the Commanders, young defense, Terry McLaurin. What other, kind of bad teams? The Falcons, bunch of wide receivers, a couple of key young defenders. There's a lot of different teams that you would consider bad, like the Lions, bunch of young talent both sides of the ball. Same with the Panthers and Patriots. Patriots are pretty close, actually, to being one of the worst in the game, toughest to develop, because is Mac Jones the guy? In real life, doesn't seem to be that way. In game, you might have to develop him that way. And, Texans, you at least have Davis Mills, you have Brandon Cooks, you have a young, Derek Stingley. Sure, you have Jalen Ramsey here, and, Donald probably will retire, but I would say this is a bottom 5 team, bottom 5 roster in the game, especially when you look at the fact that we're kind of locked in with a guy like Stafford a bit here, and he's taking a hit in the game. He's not really playing great football. How much of that is due to the fact that there's been a lot of injuries around him? That wide receiving unit, they probably needed to add someone solid, and they thought Allen Robinson was going to be that guy, and he doesn't really seem to be that guy. Stafford doesn't seem to trust him in general, and obviously Van Jefferson's been hurt for quite some time. Akers has been, in and out injured anyways. Offensive line, losing Whitworth. If you were to say no Whitworth last year, probably not a Super Bowl win. You say no Odell Beckham, even for the Super Bowl, because he got hurt early. He made a very big impact early in the game. They might have lost that game even. I mean, this team is one of those teams where I've said it, before, no matter how good of a team you are, you have to have just a little bit of luck to win a Super Bowl. And I think without Odell, without, Whitworth, I wouldn't call those guys luck, but, that little bit, I think, is enough to even say that they might not have and probably would not have won the Super Bowl last year. I know it's crazy to think, but that's the way I feel. I felt like the Rams were a team that was good, but it wasn't great. They just had really solid players at positions that matter, right? Like sick left tackle, sick wide receiver one, sick quarterback one, insane, pass rushers, 2 of them, Donald and Von Miller, insane Jalen Ramsey, and they can mask some of your other issues, right? I'm not saying none of the other guys were, not good, but you can mask a lot of that with that kind of talent. And right now, especially with the injuries, especially with lacking that number 2 wide receiver, even though they paid Allen Robinson to be that for him, and he just hasn't yet, they're just not a team that looks very good right now, and that's just the simple facts. And, it may be the conspiracy theorist in me, but, recently enough seeing, Stafford's wife talking about, how scary, concussions and head injuries are for him, and talking about, kind of the end game of, him down the line. It just seems weird talking about how, his downfall this season, if you will, that whole offseason elbow thing. It's like, maybe there's like a little kind of plan in there where it's like, hey, I don't know if, Stafford's that big of an ego guy. I feel like playing for Detroit all that, time, probably, it'd be pretty tough to hold, have a big ego on yourself. But, those are kind of little things, right? Little things that maybe add up. It's like, okay, well, Stafford actually kind of want to retire right after a Super Bowl when they feel like he's still quote unquote in his prime due to, this elbow thing and, the concussions and all that. It's just like, I get it, every concussion matters, but like the concern now for Stafford having concussions, how long he's played football, I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. But long story short, this is a team that is not in a great spot right now, but with a couple of wins over some weaker teams, they are still in the race, and we'll see if they can actually pull themselves out of the hole and maybe go on a run. Who knows? Maybe go on a run. And yeah, obviously Bobby Wagner's played well. Donald Ramsey's played well. Troy Hill, when he's actually healthy, is good. And then, Kupp's been good, obviously. But everyone else, a lot of guys lacking out here. A lot of guys lacking. And I know a lot of people want to, kind of dig into the word choices I use all the time when I'm like, well, Donald's playing amazing. It's like, okay, they're not playing well. Kupp's been great. Donald's been amazing like usual. Ramsey's been great. Wagner's been amazing. Is that what you wanted to hear? That's okay. When I say well or good, that's good. It's good. Geez, I need a smoke break, and I've never smoked in my life. Lord. Ooh, mentorship. Everyone needs a little bit of help. Speaking of a little bit of help, maybe help me out. Maybe help the channel. Leave a like. Maybe subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support. You know what you got yourself into. I don't know if that's good or bad yet. We're still trying to figure that out. Of course, speaking of good or bad, Tutu Atwell, that draft pick just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, right? From the team themselves, who drafted Tavon Austin and just could not use him correctly, why did they go to... I'm going to stop yelling at the Rams. That's why they trade their draft picks, because they suck at draft. Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say. Which, speaking of, no first-round pick again. Sweet, dude. Also, I'm getting a little bit of a head start on this rebuild, so this Cardinals-Rams game is actually about to happen, not even that long from now. I don't know why I decided to do these rebuilds, the day of them playing. I could literally just wait and have a little bit more intel. Maybe the Rams win by 50. Maybe they lost by 50. Maybe it was a close game. I don't know, but I will not be forcing any win one way or the other. If I had to guess who would win, it's tough. Cardinals aren't in a great spot right now either. Injury. If Stafford's not playing, I don't know if he is or not, the concussion thing. I'm just going to go safe and say Cardinals, I think, but I'm not going to force any wins. So we have $36 million, and some of our names here are names that I think they would want to keep in real life. Not really super hey, I need to keep them in game. Havenstein is having a Laffenstein. I get it. He's actually a pretty good lineman, and he probably is worth that in real life, but can I build a roster with this many expensive playmakers, but pay a lineman that? I don't know. What about Gaines? See, I can pay Gaines that. That's not bad for him. Good Gaines. Give a 3-year 11 to David Long. I actually really like David Long in the game, and he's still pretty young, obviously. Nick Scott. We've got some safeties in there. We're going to lose Scott and Rapp here. Fuller, when healthy, I think is probably the best bet long-term, whereas everyone else is probably replaceable. I just don't know if I can pay Havenstein for a team that's, they're turning around a little bit. They do have, draft capital, but for a team that has spent so much, in free agency and really hasn't gotten good young players that are developable long-term, at least in the game, once again, I don't know if I could spend that kind of money on Havenstein. That's literally almost the entire cap remaining, and he's low interest. So, a 1-year 18 is the best I can do for you. That's literally it. And look, puts us down to 8. I can't do it. All right, the Rams, according to EA, absolutely turn it around. They don't lose another game. It's going to be ironic because this is coming out after this Cardinals game, so obviously they can literally lose before this video comes out, but damn straight, not bad. So who do they actually... So they play the Cardinals, winnable. Saints, winnable. Chiefs, winnable, but I wouldn't bet on it. Seahawks, winnable. Raiders... the Raiders right now are a team they're kind of falling apart, but they've competed. They just haven't finished. The Packers, at this point, it wouldn't even surprise me if Jordan Love is the starter for the rest of the year. How many of the starters are going to be out in general? Denver's a disaster. Chargers probably win that game. Seahawks, it's the division, and the Seahawks are a pretty good team this year, somehow, some way. I guess Gino's playing pretty well. That's a pretty good reason. But, yeah, I imagine 3 or 4 more losses, so it's a good chance that they sneak in. I don't think they're going to win the division and, smoke their way in at 12-5. Also, we didn't sim win the Seahawks. Not that it really matters. I can't keep up with the sim like that. Even if I made all the players, all the teams win and lose the way they're supposed to, it really wouldn't matter after the first season anyways, because I'm not going to, I can't predict the future, Stafford, though, 44 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 4,700 yards. Cam Akers, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 yards per carry. Not bad, but he's usually too injured to have that happen. Holy crap. Cooper Kupp with the greatest season ever. Kind of back-to-back, if you will. 2,100 yards, 50 touchdowns, and 26 touchdowns, 50 yards. I think if you really want to dev a guy, maybe having the Rams playbook on is maybe the best way to do that. Of course, Van Jefferson, not bad. Robinson, pretty bad for the money they paid. Higbee, it's okay. O-line, it's a really bad unit. And once again, I mean, the best player on the team, the one that wants like 20 mil per, 17 mil per, whatever, gave up 16 sacks. Like, well, what am I supposed to do with that, Donald, 19.5 sacks, pretty impressive. Floyd, anywhere Donald is, Floyd's going to be right behind with like 10. It's just the Donald effect. Greg Gaines, not bad. Hollins, 5, really bad. Bobby Wagner with 3 interceptions, a bunch of tackles. Troy Hill, a couple interceptions here and there. Matt Gay, I paid him a 2-year $8, and that's because he only missed 1 kick out of 16. At the time, it was 13 for 14, and he kept that pace up. Riley Dixon, not a bad season. Kick return, punt return game, pretty tame stuff. Maybe some award wins. MVP? Really, really thought we were going to see MVP from Cooper Kupp. Maybe Stafford. Not the case, sadly. Of course, any other awards, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, not on either side of the ball. Of course, Stafford is a Pro Bowler here, which does not seem... He actually threw less picks in this than he has already in real life, I believe. How many picks did he have here? Either way, very close to. He's definitely on par, too, regardless. Kupp, number 1 wide receiver. O-line, definitely not. D-line, yes. Linebackers, Leonard Floyd at 7. Don't show that guy. Of course, some other awards. We came close to some, and obviously we did win some pretty major ones. However, those are players that are already developed, so how much does that matter? Not really a whole lot. The Vikings, a team that is definitely on par for better than that as well, still make the playoffs, so that's all that kind of matters, and as you can tell, here we are at home against them. All right, the Tony Stark Stadium, trying to win back-to-back Super Bowls, from real life. Of course, Cleveland apparently turning around quite a bit themselves and beating the Chiefs, which is really impressive. I mean, this is the year to win it. If you don't have to play a team like the Bills or the Chiefs, that is the best time to win, right? Of course, we still have to win out in the NFC, but looking pretty good out the gate here. 17-10, 20-10, 27-10, 34-10, and Minnesota, as usual, kind of comes out weak in the playoffs and loses early on. Let's take a look at the stats. Stafford, really? So we put up that kind of a game, yet Stafford wasn't that great. I guess to be fair, Akers stole the touchdown. What a weird game, though, right? Cooper Kupp, I mean, that's not weird. Nothing weird about that. Donald, nothing weird about that either. Interceptions, it is what it is. Matt Gay missing a kick that's, ties his regular season misses, but really strange game there. I guess it would have looked a little bit, more or less strange, if you will, if Cam Akers didn't have all those touchdowns, with a really bad yards per carry, but it is what it is. It's all that matters is we win and we score touchdowns, and that's what they did. Divisional round against, and it's who I would have expected, the Dallas Cowboys. The Browns continuing to move on. Oh, come on, man. I hate when that happens. If I'm too quick with it, they pull up the damn play. Like, I don't want to play. I'm trying to sim here. Dallas, this is a tough task as well. This is, right up there with the Chiefs. I would say the Bills. I said Chiefs and Bills, but really in sim, the Bills kind of suck. I don't know why he hates them. Them and the Vikings usually suck in sim. But here we are, looking strong against one of the best sim teams in the entire game. Short field for the Cowboys. They take advantage, and defense locks them up, sending the Rams of all teams back to the championship round. What a turnaround. A little bit better from Stafford. Dak was awful. Akers still pretty bad. Receiving Kupp is him. Let's take a look at the defense. Donald, nope. I seen 2 sacks. Thought it was Donald. Hollins played really well, though. Interceptions, Rapp and Bobby Wagner. And Matt Gay again missing a kick. Wow, what an upgrade for Jordan Fuller. He is well on his way to being a god with that +3 to awareness. Beautiful. Jalen Ramsey, 98 overall. About to become 99 again. Gets himself a slot upgrade, which, I mean, that's not great, but I've definitely seen worse. Here we go, championship round. Who could this even be? The 14-3 Buccaneers, which of course is impossible, but Tampa with a pretty easy division, pretty easy schedule, at least from what I remember. Definitely have the potential to turn it around, and I mean, like I said, it's impossible to turn it around that much, but at the same time, they are still a team that is very much in it. Which, once again, I'm sorry, I can't predict the future. Maybe Tom Brady literally, had a mental breakdown on the field and, picked up a mic and said, please, Giselle, take me back. I'm retiring right now. I don't know. But, in theory, nothing that crazy is going to happen to where, you know, the Buccaneers are still going to have Brady. And they're obviously still a competitor because of that. 21-17, 21-20. It's a close game. Another legendary game between these two. Please. 3rd and 5, a penalty on the defense, but sacked. And basically giving Brady 37 seconds before overtime to try and win it. Cannot do it. The offense is out there moving okay. Looking pretty good. Once again, the playoffs, you get a chance no matter what. That's what's going to happen to the Buccaneers. But we have the touchdown. 3rd and 8. Down to 4th and 2. I mean, I think you have no choice but to blitz. I know Brady is the guy you maybe don't want to blitz, but you got to. And they are going to run it, and that's Leonard Fournette. You ain't going to bring Leonard Fournette down on the first try. Now, the really crappy thing is the game's coded to where if they are stopped to a likely field goal, how the hell is... Or did the Vikings release Irv, or did they make a trade? If they're stopped to a field goal, they'll actually attempt it, but it's not what happens here. 34-34. Huge play on 3rd and 8. And who to? Allen Robinson. And now at this point, the field goal wins it. And that's exactly what happens. That's why you pay the gay guy. Well, Matt Gay. Damn it. That gay guy is pretty sick at kicking. 3 for 3. He has had a miss every single game. If this was the game he did that, we don't go to the Super Bowl. This is why you don't give up on a guy, even though, like, what are you supposed to do? He's missed 3 kicks out of, like, almost 20 on the year. But, you know, that's just insane. Stafford, outplayed by Brady, but no one gives a damn because who's winning and who's not. Who's divorced, who's... man, really going for Brady today. Sack totals, 3 for Leonard. No intercept. Who cares? It was a pretty clean game. It was just, you know, we clutched up. Offense clutched up, specifically to Allen Robinson. It's a bit of a weird rebuild, though, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a betting man. But if I had to bet, and even if you gave me like 100 times better odds for the Rams, I still wouldn't bet on them. I still wouldn't. If you gave me like $100 and I can win like 10 grand back, I'd probably keep that $100. Just going to be honest with you. And if the Rams win the Super Bowl, I want you to come back to this video and just comment negative 10K. That's all I want you to do, all right? It's going to be a long time from now. You're probably going to forget, but if you do remember, come back to the video and type negative 10K. That's all I want you to say, okay? Even though it's not physically possible for me to bet $100 and get 10K back on the Rams, unless they're really that down in the dumps. Obviously, Kupp can't go any higher in Dev, and defensively, we see nothing. Nick Scott actually goes up in Dev, but once again, a guy that's about to be 28, I don't really care about. Sorry, buddy, but unless you actually win the Super Bowl here, this is kind of a wasted season in the terms of a rebuild because we really aren't, you know, we're not developing anyone. Like Van Jefferson, kind of. Cam Akers, kind of. Not really developing anyone right now, so a little worrisome. But I do got to say, kind of a crazy season going against the Baltimore Ravens. How did they come here? They had to play in the wild card as well. They beat the Chargers, tough team. Buffalo Bills by 21. Oh, wow, we may be in trouble. And then the Browns, who took down a couple of hard teams. A little bit closer of a game, but still won. Very tough road to the Super Bowl. Not that we had an easy one. And here it is for all the marbles. Not really much of a rebuild if they win the Super Bowl out the gate, but we'll see. All right, going to the end of the game, the Baltimore Ravens down with 7. Down with another touchdown. 14-0, 14-7. So 14-7, 14-14, 21-14, 24-14, and the Rams got to score soon. Safety, and with the touchdown on that safety drive, it will be a 39-14 Super Bowl loss. This puts us in a spot. Puts us in a weird one, let me tell you. Stafford, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 250 yards. Lamar Jackson, 241 yards and a touchdown. Rushing, Cam Akers has been awful. 10 for 15. I mean, like, what are you doing with that? Van Jefferson, 5 for 72 with a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 5 for 66 with 0 touchdowns. Defensively, Roquan Smith, forgot he's on that team. Nothing crazy, nothing inspiring, and then Matt Gay decided on top of it, let's get that streak rolling in the playoffs again. Why not? Like I said, though, a little weird. The Rams, obviously not out of it in real life. But, yeah, I mean, it's unlikely they get this far, and it puts us in a really tough spot to try and rebuild a team that is reflectant of real life, which means that they're not the greatest roster, and we have to try to build it up from a Super Bowl runner-up standpoint. Very, very tough stuff to do, but, it is what it is. We're going to try, and hopefully succeed. The money jumped a little bit, but once again, with the amount of sacks allowed as well, Havenstein is down. He's out of here. Unless Rapp jumped that speed up, I'm not really sure. Yeah, there's that. What else? I mean, there's a couple of okay overalls in here, but guys that aren't very likely to dev up too highly, right? Like a lot of guys in the 27 range for age and normal dev. You just can't really work with that. I looked at David Edwards already. He's not bad. I'd actually probably want to keep him just to have somebody halfway decent here. 1 year 4 is not bad, actually, so we'll take that. 37 mil to work with. Probably not spending any money. And, hopefully land in an okay draft. But we are playing God, or EA. Same thing at this rate. That's going to send me to hell. He's like, how dare you? How dare you say these things? But we obviously have to boost Stafford because he's still young, and the way he played here for us this season tells me that he's still got some of the tank. We will drop him if he sucks, but as of right now, he deserves to go back up. I think with a season like that, he probably deserves higher than 87. We're just going to put him at an 87. He's not a 77 overall the way he played, at least. So we're going to allow that to happen. It's the one thing I do. You got to live with it, okay? Because, how am I supposed to rebuild this team when our quarterback, who played really well, is a 77 overall? What am I supposed to do? That's all I'm saying. But for age, $37 million to work with. Kareem Hunt is an interesting name because he's a guy that obviously is looking for a team to respect him long term. This team is a team that hasn't really necessarily run the ball super well, and I think Kareem Hunt might be the guy, especially at Superstar. If he's normal, if he's star still, I don't know if I can give him a 4-year deal. I still don't know if I can give him a 4-year deal. 3-year, 26. I really want him. I don't know if I want to pay that much, though. A 3-year 28, kind of? Man, I want to get him, though. A 4-year 35. I mean, it's green interest, barely. Odell, obviously looking for long-term. Ain't nobody paying him a 4-year 80. I'm sorry, but that's just not going to happen. Could use corner. It's not that big of a need, though. Someone's actually offering Havenstein. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we have a lot of needs, but realistically, we're a team that needs to stay away from free agency. But Kareem Hunt's a game changer. Akers played, okay in the regular season, but you've seen the way he played in the playoffs. He was a hindrance. All right, we got a bunch of names. We got Kareem Hunt on a 4-year 35, Deshaun Elliott on a 3-year 20, and Mutai on a 4-year, whatever the hell that is, 16. I'm sorry about going for him for a second time, kind of recently enough, but he's just so young, and he doesn't even develop that crazy high, but it's like, if I'm going to pay a lineman that isn't a rookie, I want to not pay him a lot, and that's the whole point. And of course, Cleveland is being kind of rude. The Cardinals want him now. I mean, I guess we're going to go for a rookie probably. I don't care if it's the Cardinals. Cam Akers for a 4th-round pick. It was the highest value we're going to get, and, it's a running back. It's a position that's not the toughest to get, it seems. Like almost every team now has a pretty good running back, and obviously Kareem Hunt's going to be here for the next 3 years minimum, probably 4. So, I mean, I'm not going to pay Cam Akers to be our backup. Lots of positions of need. The number one position has got to be free safety and some sort of lineman. A left end wouldn't hurt, but once again, you're talking about guys like Ramsey and Donald able to mask some of those issues around the defense. So, do you really need a left end when you got Donald taking up 2-3 bodies, Greg Gaines? He's no slouch himself. Same with linebacker. Do you need a middle linebacker too when Wagner's carrying load, even though he's, 84 overall now? Those are the questions. Also, did I say free safety? I completely forgot we just got Elliott. All right, so as we know with this Rams team, it is a team that does not like themselves draft picks that are decent. So our first pick is going to come in the 2nd round, pick 31. I really don't feel like we can pull off a move that is going to get us in the higher portion of this 2nd round to grab a pass rusher. So realistically, it might just be a situation where we just live with the results and just take best available at 31. So we trade with the Vikings 10 spots, giving them the young Bobby Brown, it's a weird way I said it, and a 5th round next year, from 63 to 53. Eli Ricks was kind of my choice. Don't even know if I still want Tony Grimes, but I'm kind of thinking, finish out the cornerback group with Jalen Ramsey and Tony Grimes right now. But at the same time, you do have other players like Jared Verse. Can we still get him next round? I think we're going to have to try to. He's 21, 6'4" is a pretty nice size as well. The 40 time and all that looks pretty good. But I think for right now, we're going to go with Tony Grimes, and then we're probably going to trade up for Verse, which if we landed just those two alone, I think that's a pretty good draft. But Tony Grimes, very athletic, pretty good coverage ratings and all that. Catching kind of sucks, but hoping for the best. And hidden development trade, very athletic. Jumping kind of sucks. Not a bad-looking player. We trade a 3rd and a 4th next year to the Steelers for their 3rd-round pick. Obviously, A.J. Jackson, he's not terrible value as well, but threw that in there just to finish off the trade. Keeping our 3rd round this year, kind of betting on, more recent, success. A.T. Perry as well. Some athleticism at that height. It's interesting. It's very intriguing, I will admit. Nolan Smith is there too, but I think I'm going to go Jared Verse. Once again, very athletic, A finesse, B power move. I don't know why I said combine. I meant, the left side, you can see great speed, elite excel. Obviously, agility and change direction is going to be bad on pretty much most pass rushers. Doesn't show the combine, but I'm pretty sure, at least that's the way I've been going off of a lot of different things. We've always done it for kicker. Pretty sure that left side, the great and the elite excel, I think it's not the only thing that matters, but it kind of usually means more than the actual 40 in the pro day. So, gonna take a bet on him, and I expect good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's slower than I would have thought, but hidden development trait, that's all that really matters. When I think of elite speed at a DN, which I think it probably does compare to the rest of the class, I'm thinking near 90, right? You see a lot of 90-ish speed excel pass rushers, and the fact that he isn't, despite the fact that it says elite, I don't know do I really see that as elite? I don't really care too much because it works out, but is that really elite? I don't know. We want a tackle or a lineman in general, so once Steen or Zurer goes, Zurer, whatever you want to call him, once they go, that's where we're going to go. A.T. Perry to the Bears, I actually really like that, even though as a Packers fan, I absolutely hate that. Trading a 6th round next year to move up 5 spots with the Packers as Zurer, whatever, Killian, I'm going to call him, goes right before us. With that pick, we were going to go with Mr. Steen, I believe. Tyler Steen, welcome to the team, 22 years old. Didn't mean to rhyme, but I do it all the time. I'm not going to go there. Hidden development trait, 86 strength, speed's lacking, but I don't care. He's a tackle. I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to be hidden development trait, but I think he was. I think the guy I was thinking of that was going to be normal is, I think his name is Foster or his name is Jones, one of the two. So we traded up again using a 7th round pick to get Wooden, a super steal, who obviously needs to develop. I didn't show anything there because there's nothing to see. It's really just he's kind of a raw guy that has a lot of skills, just normal development trait. And honestly, we can't really afford to trade up anymore. We've already gotten rid of a lot of assets for next year. Don't really have much players to trade for, trade with, so going to make the play to go to 6th round, maybe take Smith, the wide receiver, if he's still there. He is. I had to check a few times. Very speedy. That's kind of what this team is missing. This team's a very slow team. 96 speed, 97 excel. Not bad. We're going to go with this linebacker who's pretty big and has great speed and good acceleration and apparently great change direction. Almost called him Call of Duty. And here he is. 84 speed, 87 excel. Good change of direction. I don't know if I agree with the other things too much, but it is what it is. We ended up trading 2 of our picks for 2 7ths next year. And I think we also got a 6 next year. And with this last pick, I think I'm going to go running back, so we need one. We're going to go with another speedster, Jaden Reed, 4'3", 6 foot tall. Why not? Didn't really like any of the running backs there. And I was looking at a linebacker and a DT, and they were all, it just wasn't really going. At least with speed, you can't really go wrong with it. All right, apparently down to 16 mil. What kind of overalls we have? 74, 73, 72, 72, 68, 62, and then 67. Not bad. Tony Grimes, of course, cornerback number 2. Verse starting linebacker somewhere, probably left out. And, we're going to be pretty much starting 4 or 5 guys here from this class. All right, so I moved Van Jefferson to number 2 because, well, he has a higher ceiling and played better than Allen Robinson last year, even as the number 3. Of course, Kupp is him. Stafford's apparently him. Kareem Hunt hopefully has a better season than Akers because Akers was really bad for us. He was, like, at best average in the regular season, and he was terrible in the postseason. Higbee, and he's average. Got a new right tackle, got a new left guard. These guys should be here for the rest of this rebuild, but every other position definitely need to replace. D-line, probably need to replace the DT. We'll see what happens with Wooden. Corners look great. Linebackers, specifically middle, we're going to need help. Safeties, we might be fine. And then pass rushers, it seems like we have at least one long-term starter. The one thing that really sucks is some of these contracts. I don't know what they were thinking, but they are paying some mid a lot of money. There's a lot of mid making a lot of money at this point. Like Allen Robinson is making $18 million. Note boom, $15 million. Obviously, Wagner's at least a good player, but he's still being paid less than those guys. I mean, there are some... 20-some million. How did Leonard Floyd convince them? I don't understand. He's not bad, but he's not that good, I'll tell you that much. Ooh, Wooden is now star development trait, 20k XP on top of it. That's why you draft normal devs, even though. Resignings. Apparently we have -3 mil. Van Jefferson's definitely a guy I would like to keep. Same with Jordan Fuller. Doesn't appear we're going to be able to do that. However, there might be, one more season from now, maybe we can release, Leonard Floyd for a savings of like 20 mil or something. And if that's the case, we can pay Van Jefferson and Jordan Fuller. But as of right now, it seems like we're going to be losing some pretty key starters no matter what. Here we go, chance at the playoffs, and in beating the team that we are now facing at home. Don't know if we beat them, at home, whatever happened last time, but a definite worse season than before, but still a playoff one. Obviously, a little bit of losses near the second half of the season, but finished out clutch against the Giants, and speaking of the team that we're playing right now, the Buccaneers. Couple of new names, nothing crazy. A lot of youngsters that, we still made the playoffs. You would assume that some of them were pretty decent still. Wow. Okay, well, no change of the scheme yet. Stafford was awful. Kareem Hunt, way better yards per carry, but once again, we're just not having snaps on offense or something, it seems. Cooper Kupp, way down. Van Jefferson, not bad. Allen Robinson, an improvement. And Higbee, not worth it. Okay, so it seems like, wow, 20 sacks allowed for Steen, 21 for Noteboom. That is maybe the worst I've seen all year from a tackle duo. Aaron Donald, really good numbers. Floyd, meh. Wooden, not bad considering he's, an interior guy, not named Aaron Donald. Verse, pretty bad rookie season, to be honest. Ernest Jones, I don't know why I said Ernst. 5 sacks, 4 for Wagner and Ramsey. Interceptions-wise, anyways. 2 interceptions for Long and Fuller. And, yeah, sadly, Tony Grimes, not seeing his name, anywhere. He played, he just didn't have any interceptions. Matt Gay, the guy we paid a 2-year $8 for, had another really good year. Gill, the punter we randomly signed last second, 52.0 yards per punt. Not bad. Definitely doesn't seem like we're going to have that kind of a season for awards this year, but 31st in offense, still made the playoffs. So, yeah, the defense must have been on another level. 31st in points scored. It's got to be top 10 in points allowed, right? Yeah, 4th. Okay, so defense carrying hard. MVP of the league is Fields. Who knows what the future holds? Probably not an MVP for Fields, but just going to be honest. Rookie of... Oh, yeah, I don't know why that threw me off. It's, yeah, Rookie of the Year, it makes sense. Any award wins at all? Wait, did we not win Best D-Line, though? What kind of season did Chase Young have? Holy. This man must have went the hell off. If Donald had 22.5 and he didn't win 23, okay, yeah, I'm sure they're going to give it to an edge that had half a sack more than an interior guy getting triple-teamed every damn play. Either way, Buccaneers, we beat them once. Why not do it again? And it's probably because our offense sucks. Pretty close game. 10-all at halftime. 13-10. Still 13-10. Need a touchdown. You win the game, kind of. As Tampa was about to take that theory to heart. 4th and 3 for the field goal to take the lead. Brady has a chance. I don't even know if it actually is Brady. Excuse me. I don't know if it actually was. I think it might have been Hendon Hooker. And it was massive sell from the Buccaneers as Stafford and company. Wow, not a great game from Stafford. Do enough. And it's a Rams curse, I guess, because Kareem Hunt is terrible in that playoff game. We still did enough to win, though, as we are trying to chase 3 straight Super Bowl trips. Aaron Donald with 3 sacks. That guy is so good. I mean, realistically, this rebuild should end when he retires. I don't even care. Like, if we can't win another with him, there's no way we're winning one without him, right? Going to try my absolute best to manage this team. Keep around the guys that we need, being Aaron Donald and Ramsey as much as possible. And whatever it takes to lose, to keep those guys, I'll lose them. I don't care. But here we are, going against the Packers, 11-6. I think the one thing we all want to know is who is the quarterback here, and I'd imagine it's still that guy, and it is. As expected, is that Anthony Richardson as the backup? Okay, that's interesting. That's not a bad idea. Get yourself a developmental guy with hikes. Oh, wait, they did that already. Never mind. I don't know if it was foggy, whatever it was. It looked like a bit of mist, though, and, I mean, it wasn't, I guess. 7-all, 14-7. 10-14. Defense is trying its best. Down by 4. Offense, come on! You're good. Just play better than the regular season. Down by 4. This is a close battle. And with 3 minutes left, it appears that either they're getting the ball or we're getting the ball, and it is them. But what a punt! Holy crap! Aaron Jones is getting them out of it, though. 3rd and 1. They're going to get nothing. What is this? Is it going to be a punt? No way they actually pulled this off. And there's also no way that they actually faked this, right? Let's just get in there just in case. Wow, okay. I mean, it is a very Green Bay-like thing. Trust your defense with little bit of... There goes Reed. Look at the speed from Reed. The Packers special teams does it again. Choking hard, 19 yards away from a championship trip. Will the Rams choke? Bro, who made this game? Oh, we got 30 seconds left. Let's run it a couple of times. Are you kidding me? Do you effing mind? And I don't know who I thought this was. Allen Robinson! What a catch! The no-look! I don't know why I thought I could scramble with Stafford for that touchdown. Threw it last second. Never turns around because that's what Packers corners do, even though it's Jair, and he clutches up. That's insane. Wow. I don't even know how we did that. Like, we just somehow win. Of course, Stafford didn't play super well. Obviously, that touchdown from us there makes it look better than it actually was. Rodgers played like crap. That's what you expect. Kareem Hunt wasn't great. Aaron Jones wasn't like super great either. He just had a huge run, which I suppose, making the huge run is technically greatness. Cooper Kupp trying to carry as much as possible, but he's got a bunch of mid around him. 3 sacks from Floyd, though. Tony Grimes with 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions in a playoff game, 0 in the regular season. I really thought there was a chance. I was looking at the record. We were like constantly 1 behind at 500, and I was like, this could be a good experience for us to actually, not make the playoffs, get a decent pick, and turn this thing around a little bit. But back-to-back championship spot 3, actually, the 3-peat championship trip, chance at 3 straight Super Bowls. Obviously, it wouldn't be us winning 3 straight, but 2 out of 3 is not bad. That's a fun time to be a fan, I'll tell you what. But it's Dallas, team that we beat once before. I don't know how we did it. Let's find out if we can do it again. 7-3, 7-10. Defense trying its best. Offense not looking terrible. I'll tell you that much. 14-10. Halftime score will remain that. 28-10. Dallas bounces back, but we score more. Waking up in the championship round is the Rams, and they're going to 3 straight Super Bowls. The offense was terrible outside of this game all year long, yet here we are with, if you let's forget about the real-life Super Bowl at this point, 2 straight Super Bowls with this season being mad mid. I don't understand how we're here. Obviously, the defense was pretty good, in fairness. Ooh, Justin Jackson, I like that. The defense was pretty good, in fairness, but as far as the offense goes, it seemed like outside of this game, we've been terrible Higbee with 3 touchdown catches. That's impressive. Leonard Floyd, 5 sacks in 2 games. Robert Rochelle playing a little bit of backup safety because he has a really good zone, coming away with an interception. What a damn run here. Again. Some teams just got it, I guess. Some teams just, they're juiced. Trucking, I mean, his elusiveness is already still pretty good. Let's try to get that trucking to 90 make him a god. 2 stiff arm, 1 truck, and that's still pretty cool. 89 stiff, 89 truck. Deshaun Elliott, the free agent, has been pretty decent for us. Pretty good overall already. I say already. It's like, you know, he's kind of reaching the ends of his ceiling, if you will. And it's the Colts. The Colts of all teams. What dev-ups may we have had? None on offense, to my knowledge, right? Kareem Hunt was already superstar. Stafford was already superstar. Defense, though. Wooden, I think, actually might be a superstar because pretty sure he would have already shown star because of his breakout, yet he's not, which, Ernest Jones is star. Not that I really even care, actually, so I think he's a free agent. Pretty sure Wooden might be a superstar. He is! My man's 92 power move! Holy! I know he starts with pretty good power move and block shed. He's just normal, but wow! I like that. A lot of 85 overall teams. Can we be the one to win the bowl, though? Let me tell you, this has been a very strange rebuild. I feel like with the way the roster is built, the way the contracts are set up, this team shouldn't be where it is. But once again, you have so many of those insane, top of their position, best in the league players that you just can mask so much, and they're just enough to juice you for the win. Of course, had a really good chance there, but gave him a touchdown pretty quickly. That could be it. One more score, and I'm feeling good about it. And we're not going to get that. Instead, it's going to be 4 minutes left. 4th and inches. Jimmy Garoppolo, the starting quarterback of the Colts, facing the blitz against the Rams. Bobby Wagner trying to rush in, and Jonathan Taylor makes the play. That would have been a really hyped up moment, but this is looking like the Colts may tie this. And you do not want to see me play the rest of this because they will absolutely tie it then because we usually choke. Come on, defense. 1st and 10, nothing. 2nd and 10, nothing. 3rd and 10. Did they get just enough? They got 10. Did they do it again? Bro. Yeah, they're destined to score there. 1 minute left. Offense driving. 1st and 10. What's the clock situation? Are they going to be running? You're at the 30. And, I like this kicker, right? I believe in him, too. But, can we not do that? You don't need to make it this hard on him. He missed a 48-yard field. See, this is why we went closer. We risked it to go closer because Matt Gay does things that just makes you not feel good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here it is. We've lost another. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to punt it. Wow. 60-yard field goal. They believe in the punter. Gillikin is a god. He's actually probably the best punter in the game. For some reason, he always ends up 99 kick power, 97 accuracy, and he pins it to the 2. You've got to be joking me. This Super Bowl is crazy. I don't trust anything but inside zone. It's just everything else seems like it just takes too long to get the ball off. As that is an amazing set of blocks, and he's going to gain enough for the first. I just wanted to help him get out of there. I'm going to let the rest, just happen. Come on, offense. Moving nicely. I like it. A field goal wins you the game. 3rd and 18. You're going to have to punt it. Not a great punt either. And is there a chance? Nope, they've lost. Wow, dude. All of that to lose another Super Bowl. Back to back. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't even play that well. Come on, man. Another undeserved ring for Jimmy. Can this guy stop? Oh, my. Sweet, dude. Quiddy Pay and Buckner outplayed Floyd and Donald because Wooden was actually better than Donald. Obviously, probably opened up because of Donald getting doubled and whatnot, but 2 picks from Bobby, who was trying to give it his all for one last chance. Matt freaking Gay, dude. Always missing one kick in the postseason. And, of course, it's the one that costs us the damn Super Bowl. We go again. Man, this has been such a weird rebuild. And I was really debating after the first win, or going to the Super Bowl at least. Then the second one, I was like, do I just redo this? Because the Rams they aren't that, right? They aren't they don't look that good. There's no chance this happens. But I was like, you know what? I kind of wanted a different style rebuild. When's the last time we've had 2 straight up, Super Bowl trips right out the gate, losing them, winning them, whatever. And then now we're in a situation where we can't afford many of the players, but after this season, we're going to have a ton of money. And it's just this is a really strange rebuild because none of these guys are really worth keeping when you're trying to build a championship roster. Stafford, in the confines of the game without, fixing his regression, even though he deserves to be fixed, most of the time because, his season's been pretty good. Maybe not this one. I'll let this one slide, even though the touchdown to pick ratio is decent. It's a weird rebuild. It's not our traditional rebuild. So I'm kind of just rolling with it, Sorry, Rams fans, if you wanted a more realistic situation where, you don't make the playoffs the first year and then you see what that draft do. But now, I don't want to spend, it's really tough because I want to save some money here, but do I really want to take the penalty to remove players off the team that if I just wait one more year, we'll be clear of them, we'll be able to get rid of Floyd, Noteboom, and Allen Robinson for nothing, whereas obviously not Allen Robinson. There's no point in releasing him here. Noteboom and Floyd, it's not really that crazy of a savings, But yeah, having to let some of these guys go, we had to let Wagner, Higbee, Van Jefferson go, and we only have 14 mils, so I don't remember what our draft picks are like. I'm back doing this, part 2 of this rebuild for me. This is post disgusting loss to the Cardinals. But I am still potentially willing to spend some money because, like I said, after this year, that's where our money kind of jumps back up. So, thinking ahead a little bit, maybe a little bit too far ahead, we really need a wide receiver. And I don't know who I want to pay. I really like Ayuk, but I don't want to get too... Oh, Jerry Jeudy would have been fun, dude. I want a pure route runner, we can worry about the catching later. I offered a, kind of lowball 4-year, 60 to Marquise Brown. Hit 3 evaluations. None of them clicked, so we're just going to let that roll. Matthew Stafford in this one did not really regress that badly, though, so that's pretty sweet because, this was the year, like I said, the way he played probably wouldn't have been able to fix him without it being really unrealistic. This team's in shambles. This is not a team that I really feel comfortable going forward with right now, but yet it's a team that consistently has been making the playoffs and the Super Bowl, so you can never count them out. Of course, draft picks, we have no second-round pick, but we have our own first, and obviously... Oh, no, we do have that. We just don't have any third, fourth, or fifth, which I suppose is technically better. I think at this point, with the salary cap situation, the lack of talent, I think we have to pull full backwards mode. If we can trade 31 in the first round to get to 31 in the second round, and then, just keep going back and back and back, like a trickle-down effect, kind of double the picks, if you will, I think is really our best chance. See, we're not the only little scumbags out here. The Rams are trying to offer even less, and watch, that's where he'll go. Watch, he'll join the team that is literally less. Oh, we got Marquise on a 4-year under 60 mil. Of course, we are broke as hell, but that's not bad. I like it. That's huge. It saves us from signing, or not signing, but drafting this wide receiver, who I think looks good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we really need him anymore, as Marquise is going to be our number 2, even though obviously he's on the smaller side, but this team doesn't use wide receivers in a traditional way anyways. We need a tight end, and I see one in the second to third round that looks pretty decent, so we'll probably grab him in the middle of the second. Pass rush we could definitely use. I don't remember even seeing a decent pass rusher. I might have to take a look again because I kind of forgot about that position, but the defense could be worse. Definitely could be worse. So the Niners are offering us 47 and 79 to get to 31, and I'm pretty down with that. Need our next round picks badly. They end up going with a guard, and I'm hoping the tight end is still here. I imagine he is. He was I guess I can't say that. He was a 2 to 3, I believe, Is he? And he is. Earl Murphy. I think you got to take the chance on him. You know, A to B for catching, you know, B deep route, 6'6", 21 years old. I'd like a little bit more speed, but as, you know, the size he's got, that's perfectly fine. Really good blocker, short route looks here. I mean, I'm taking the chance on him. Earl Murphy. And he is normal, but 6'6", 85 speed, 88 excel, 84 jumping. I mean, in a user league, you're like, okay, that's a pretty good pick. In this rebuild, I don't know. I'm not sure. What else do we have? Anything else that we do not want to lose here? I really like Matt Jenkins. I think he's a good-looking wide receiver. Look at how fast he is, good jumping and all that, but at the end of the day, I don't need wide receiver that much right now, and I can't get rid of Allen Robinson yet anyways. Whereas we have like no extra picks. I kind of want Nate Price because we need a safety, a starting safety. Cornerback wouldn't hurt, I guess, but probably won't go for that. So if we're going to look at what we need, Jenkins a 3 to 4 actually. We have some linemen that are 3 to 4. Like I want Riley, I want Harper, I want Lambert, I want Price. And was there anyone else I wanted? And I want Jenkins, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull all of those off. Because so far, the only thing we added extra was that mid-third. So the Steelers offer is the best. Pick 30, 73, and 105. You know, the next couple of rounds for the pick we were just at. Gets us to 9 in the third round. Got to look at who is the most important top to bottom and take them. As Matt Jenkins is still there. I mean, he's a little raw looking, but at 6'4", 21 years old, super fast. I think you take the chance on him. He could be another normal development trait, though. I think Price, though, is the number one need as we don't have a starting strong safety. 5'11", 22 years old, decently fast. You're not going to get much better than this in the third round. So Nate Price, welcome to the squad. And another normal. Athleticism is just good enough in fairness, so yeah, I guess. Oh, my other wide receiver is gone now, actually. Do I make a trade up? We don't have any other, like, third-round picks, though, right? If we don't have any other third-round picks, I know we have, like, a fourth, maybe 2 fourths if we're lucky. If we don't, I might have to just pass on him and just take Riley. So all we have is 105 left. I can't, dude. I want Jenkins. I can't. We'll just see how good he is after the draft. Like, even if he's there at 15, I'm probably going to pass on him. All right, it's going to take Riley. Looks pretty damn solid. He is Peter Center, in fairness. Hidden development trade. We now have 3 long-term starters on the O-line. We'll take it. Moving to pick 9. Once again, we have, like, really nothing to trade up with. So, I mean, we got to take what we can get and just, you know, best available pick, right? With these picks, you do have... We don't really need a running back, but you have Marquell Webster, who is insane looking. I mean, look at the stiff arm truck. I mean, we'll take him if he's there, maybe another round perhaps, but I think once again, just like the safety pick, the biggest need is Eric Lambert, the linebacker. Of course, block shedding pursuit is rough, but A-zone coverage, athleticism isn't the greatest, but of all the players remaining, he's definitely the best. Honestly, other than the first round, it was a pretty weak linebacker class. The pass rushers, which, you know, something we also probably needed a ton of. Didn't really have that either. There's that tap guy or whatever a little bit later. You know, day 3, I don't even know if he's worth taking. But Lambert, going to take the chance. He is hidden. Once again, that athleticism's pretty bad. We got 2 hiddens in a row, though. You know, the later round picks kind of working out here. Let's take a look at who is there. So the center we were looking at is gone. Tap is there, though. And he does have an A finesse with a 4.63 40. Do you maybe take him since he's 21? Even if he's like normal dev, you might still be able to do something with him. I think we're going to try to get this pick off the Lions here. We have a 6th-round pick. We might be able to just use this year's stuff anyways. We trade 163, 207, and 202 all this year for 129 quantity over quality at that point, which, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, if you need a lot of things, which maybe they do, we do too, in fairness. But Zach Tapp, LSU, welcome to the squad, 21 years old, normal dev, a little slower than I would have thought. I mean, didn't he have like the same 40 as our tight end? I suppose maybe the acceleration drills played a factor as well, but not our best work. Not our best work. Maybe some of these guys have some decent overalls, hopefully. 6th-round pick. Let's see if the wide receiver's there. If he is, maybe we take him. Chester Peck, why not? 6'1", 21 years old with some speed. Normal development rate, 97 speed, 96 excel, 93 agility. Change of direction sucks, but every other stat is pretty solid. So we have -3 milks. Obviously, we ended up having more draft picks to pay than they projected. And wow, okay, that tight end's better than I would have projected. Speaking of, a lot of the other guys are a little bit on the lower side, but really needed the tight end, really needed the safety, and really needed a linebacker in fairness. But tight end and safety, pretty good overalls. Once again, auto starters, so we needed those desperately. 84 catching, route running's okay, catching traffic's decent, has all the catching traits. 73 trucking's actually pretty good for an AI or a CPU generated tight end. What are we looking at for number though? 88. I mean, I guess, I don't know, we don't really have a lot of number options. Not bad though, considering he wasn't even a first round pick. And then Nate Price, we can definitely work with that. He's our new starting strong safety. Fuller, I didn't like him, dude. He was like 26 years old, and he didn't have, what am I looking for? There we go. He was, 26 years old and needed a contract, and he only had 79 zone. It's like, that ceiling is just really low, and I keep hitting my head on it, you know? Of course, Joe Riley, I wish he was bigger, because he kind of looks better as like a tackle than a center. What's that, Dev? Not that we really care too much. Oh, okay, superstar. I mean, I do kind of care now. Yeah, but he's like too tiny to play anything but center. So now we have a superstar center. That's cool, but like, who cares? Maybe I actually didn't even think about the linebacker. Maybe we just land ourselves one of those X factors. I don't know. Very raw player, but he is hidden development rate. Obviously, we lost Bobby Wagner because we're broke. And out of Wisconsin, star development traits. Sadly, nothing better. And then Tap was a 67 overall. What is his ratings looking like? 77 finesse. He's kind of giving me like DJ Wanham vibes, but I suppose when you get someone like that in the 5th round, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's take a look. Jeromepkr. Decent route running, pretty damn good release. He's actually all right. And I was about to look at some of the players we passed on, and what is going on here? Are these multiple generationals? This has got to be a generational, right? 97 speed, 81 overall quarterback. 87 short, 93 throw power was that? Let's take a look at his dev. And yeah, wow. Okay, that is quite the generational you got. Let's take a look at the cornerback, see if he was as well. David Bates, not super fast in fairness. Very good man in zone though, so still could be because his overall is high, but he's not like, still pretty damn good at superstar, but he's not like, you know, one of the greatest I've ever seen. Might actually start looking by overall. Oh, there was another high overall. James Hart. Ooh, he's fast too. He's more of like a corner probably. He is insanely fast. This guy's probably generational as well. And only star. Interesting, but still pretty good players. So Jenkins, 74 overall to the Chargers just after us. Hidden. Catching's insane. They literally got themselves a faster freaking Mike Williams, didn't they? Come on, man. Come on, man. What's his dev? Okay, thank God it's only star, but we could have definitely used him. He would have been the very, very much so easy replacement 1-to-1 for Allen Robinson, but once again, we're stuck with some of these guys because of their contracts, so we got to live with it. Man, this team, wow. I mean, it wasn't a great draft. It wasn't the worst draft in the world, but man, this team is not in the best of spots. Hey, I don't make the rules. I need a backup running back, Tutu Atwell for James Cook. So it wasn't the perfect offseason, but considering the kind of salary constraints we had, we didn't do a terrible job. You know, we added wide receiver talent in Marquise Brown, replacing Van Jefferson, getting a massive upgrade there. Murphy is kind of an upgrade to Higbee because they're similar already. Maybe not as good at catching for Murphy, but way more vertical, you know, stretching ability. Offensive line, we added another lineman that was hidden. He's superstar, of course, which is nice, but center left tackle, definitely an L. Looking at linebackers, Tap, I don't know if he's the long-term option, but I had to replace Floyd because we were literally broke. Couldn't even sign enough players to make the full roster. Safety Price, hoping for a breakout early, and we're really hoping Verse can be the carrying guy on the edge at least, as we need it. We need it bad. Man, that is an L. He had a chance. Hey, Nate Price with a dev up. We'll take it. So apparently we have 16 mil, but as you can see, 113 is the true number. Aaron Donald is a guy that could actually last that contract. If he's down, I mean, a 2-year 59 for a guy that, is kind of like a Hall of Famer or whatever, maybe worth the money, I think. Probably. 1 year, 4.2. Really, Matt Gay is really feeling himself these days. All that, self-love and all that. Really working out. Ernest Jones, a guy I didn't think that was going to be that dude, is that dude. Really proud of him. Getting that contract, a 5-year 30, not bad. Alberto is a backup, and with the kind of money we have, we might actually even keep Note Boom. Maybe not, actually. He's 29. I didn't think he was that old. Maybe like 27. He's not bad by any means, but I think we can do better or similar for the price or less. And yes, a lot of words going on. Gillikin is like the best punter in the game somehow, so I'm just going to sign him to a 3-year 9. And Greg Gaines, he's still not terrible, and the formula has worked. Why not, right? I kind of feel like why not is a pretty good argument in this case. That's why I wanted to get Marquise Brown, because, we get a guy that can develop for us this season, and I knew we were going to have a ton of money because Allen Robinson and Floyd and Note Boom and, a bunch of different guys are going to need contracts, and they were on really, really good contracts for themselves, and obviously we are not about that business while still having an okay season. Winner of this game takes the division, and it's us. I would imagine they still made the playoffs, but home field advantage here in the wildcard round going up against the Bears. Have not changed any of the schemes or anything like that, as, it's a winning formula right now. Looking at the win-loss, pretty good. Pretty good stuff across the board, 11-6. Will Stafford be saved? Will he become an X factor? Maybe. Let's find out. And I think that's good enough to save him from going to like an 80 overall. How old is he now? He's going to be like 37, 36. He's still young enough to where I feel comfortable fixing him. So I think 85, 86 overall. Keeping him around that is still fair. So if he drops hard, we'll fix him. James Cook wasn't the greatest backup for us. Kareem Hunt, pretty solid numbers. Marquise Brown, really good. Cooper Kupp, solid with the touchdowns. Allen Robinson, not bad. Earl Murphy, almost called him Eddie. Would like to see better numbers, but I don't know if we're going to see it in this scheme. Don't want to change it, though, because we're winning, right? Donald, 25, 2.5 sacks. 12 for Wooden, who is just a god. Tap, meh. But Verse, ultra meh. Interceptions, Jalen Ramsey with 6. Everyone else, pretty tame numbers. Kicking, Matt Gay. I think we can replace him. He wants like nearly 5 per, and that's just not 5 per. That's like average, above average, but it's not best in the league, numbers. Let's take a look at the award wins. Aaron Donald probably won a couple of awards, I imagine. Let's take a look at these things. Anything at all. Marquise Brown, so best wide receiver, D-line, and cornerback. We will take that. Or DB. Maybe this is the year. I don't know. We've kept the team afloat as much as possible, and now we actually have a little bit of money to spend in free agency on top of it. So this is kind of like a weird year to still be in it, if you will. It feels like, this is the year where it's like, okay, well, we needed to wait a year to get our money right, and now we can finally compete. But here we are competing, 24 to 31 to 14. And it looks like a win to me. 38 to 14, 41 to 14. The Bears giving us a very good fight early and then just disappearing. Stafford, though, in the playoffs, as usual, not really playing well for us, but still not the worst performance. He could have threw a pick or something like that. Rushing numbers were pretty decent, so in fairness, we did lose some passing touchdowns to the running backs. Nate Price with an interception. Matt Gay looking good. We're waiting for it, though. The coveted the missed kick in the playoffs, absolutely a thing that he just loves to do. Of course, Riley, you probably already seen, we ended up making him a guard because the center was super slow, super non-athletic, and this guy, like I said, feels like he should be a tackle, dude. 6'1" tackle. I mean, I don't know, dude, but he feels like he should be. And the Saints, fair enough, not the toughest, definitely not the easiest. I do have to imagine, though, that they got their quarterback situation right by now, right? I know they didn't have their first-round pick, and that's really an L considering the season they're having right now, but, they still have a really good, talented roster. They just need to get that quarterback situation right, and Stop paying dumb contracts out like the one they did for Taysom Hill, right? 28-21, and a victory for the Rams, headed back to the championship for 4 straight years. I will admit, though, if they don't win the Super Bowl this season, it will be a, like, what could have been situation. Stafford looking really good in that one, even though he threw a pick. James Cook, man, these running backs, it might just be the scheme, but wow, not great. Verse, 2 sacks, we love it. Carlos Basham's a saint. Donald with 3, Lattimore with a pick. They missed the kick, we didn't. Don't tell me Matt Gay's saving up his missed kick for this game or the Super Bowl. Please don't. And got to give it up to Wooden, man. He has been a god for us. What's those ratings looking like? Whee! Block shot needs to go up, but what a player. And the Lions of all teams, they are a pretty good overall in fairness, and they probably did get a good quarterback or Will Anderson. Will Anderson and Hayden Hutchinson, quite a combination. All right, going to the end of the game. Left to right looks to be us. It is 3-0, 7-3. 10-7. Lions get stopped as they were driving for a score. Before half, we get nothing. Second half, it's a close game, man. 10-all. It is really surprising to see this. Up by 7. Defense is doing its job. Offense needs to put up another score, and they will. It'll be 4 straight seasons in the Super Bowl. But as of right now, only 1 victory, and it's real life. It's not ours. Of course, Jared Goff, still the quarterback there, apparently, playing against his former team. The trade that, these two teams made, once upon a time, still sort of haunting the Lions here, obviously. The Rams in that bowl. Matt Gay, he missed it. That was a pretty big kick, too. Come on, man. And hopefully he got it out of his system. No more. But here it is, the Super Bowl. Like we said, 4 straight Super Bowls. Got him against the Chiefs. Okay. Pretty good matchup. Pretty damn great matchup. Let's take a look at how the Chiefs got here. I suppose that's an important thing to note. They did have a bye week, so they are the number 1 seed on the AFC side, taking out the teams like the Chargers and the Ravens. Can't really get too much better than those teams either. Let's take a look at our dev-ups if we had any. Marquise Brown, hopefully superstar. He is. Stafford, sadly, does not go up in dev. Murphy, sadly, who we didn't expect to, didn't go up in dev. And then defensively, not even Tap goes up in dev, which is a bit of an L, but, it's still a pretty good team. We'll take it. We got to fix some of those positions, but overall, it's a little bit better than I would have expected once we were starting off-season where we had, no money. So on top of the Chiefs just being, nice start. On top of the Chiefs just being a good team in general, they found the money to sign Nick Bosa. I don't know where they did that, but I don't know. 14-9, the Chiefs getting close with field goals. At some point, they're going to score a touchdown, and there it is. The defense could not do any better than they had. 4th and 2, I want to come in here. I don't feel like I need to, but I also don't want to see them lose because they suck. I want to have a chance. I don't really like empty, but I don't know if I like the whole, wide receiver number 1 in the backfield. Marquise on, a possession type play. And the tight end's pretty open. Stafford with a pretty crap throw, but a great catch by the youngster tight end Murphy. 3 timeouts. Let's see them waste all this clock down. Wow. Okay. Nice. It took them 30-some seconds with a timeout to run the ball and gain 6 yards. That's a decision. That's Stafford. Marquise Brown with the catch. Timeout. Field goal range. But is it really a field goal you seek? Or the win? As it looks like there's going to be a linebacker on Kupp here. And there is. Stafford just needs to hit the throw. He does! Cooper Kupp clutching up for the final drive in another Super Bowl. Likely winning them again. A ring. Stafford delivering a dot. Linebacker really did a damn good job, or whoever that was. Maybe it was an edge rusher. I don't know who it was, but it looked like it might have been Karlaftis. Doing a pretty good job, actually. Kind of got out in front of Cooper Kupp's route, but then, Coop's route running, he just dusted him anyways. But it is the Chiefs with 17 seconds in all 3 timeouts. What can they do with this clock? Oh, wait a minute. Woohoo! It usually isn't just a one-play thing, so I was thinking, did they get a one-play touchdown and it took the whole clock out? It wasn't. It was the Rams winning a Super Bowl for the second time, and finally, it's a 2-2 record in a span of half a decade, which is absurd. If they win 3 of those, they become the greatest team all time. You make arguments now. Are they still? I don't know. I can't tell. 2 Super Bowls out of 4 years is, pretty insane because, we made it there all 4 years. It's just you lost a few as well. So it's like you're pretty damn good, but, you didn't win them all. I don't know. I'd rather see, 2 Super Bowls won out of 3 attempts than a 50% win rate. It's like, it's great to have these Super Bowls, but it does devalue them when you lose 2 as well, right? I don't know. It's still a really sick team, and it's up there. It's up there, top 5 all time already. And I'm thinking we give it one more season just to see if we can get 5 straight. The perfect number, 5 straight. And if we can't, well, it is what it is. Stafford played pretty well. The percentage was a little low. We probably saved him, though. I don't know if he would have finished with the numbers he did if we had to play. We didn't come in. Rushing was awful for them. The defense seemed to absolutely have stopped the Chiefs, which is not an easy sight, of course, like we were talking about with Nick Bosa, 2.5 sacks, Verse with a sack, which is nice, Tony Grimes with a pick. I will say one thing. If Donald retires here, I'm not going to do another season. There's just no way this team wins without him. There's just no way. Donald is carrying us on defense. It's not even a question. Obviously, Ramsey's great, but the pass rush would just be nothing without Donald. Wooden's good, but let's be honest. Without Donald, Wooden ain't doing anything either, I would imagine. Although he's getting there himself. But yeah, let's see the retirements. If Donald's gone, I'm gone. But I'd imagine he'll still be here. I imagine, so we shouldn't have to worry. Yeah, he's still here. It's all that mattered to me. He's still here. One more year. One more year. And Matt Gay all of a sudden wants to come back. Whoa, what happened? You won another Super Bowl here. Okay. Actually, I don't even... Yeah, I think he was a part of that other one, right? I imagine. Other one, every other player, though, don't really care too much other than Delagia. Yep. It's like Delagala? I don't even know. Sounds like one of Godzilla's enemies in... Well, Godzilla, I guess. Let's see the money. So, we have it. I don't know why I said let's see the money. Looking for a pass rusher. Not really seeing one. Sweat is like the best option. Maybe we make the play on him. Ooh, Phillips, actually. Phillips is pretty good, actually. What's his... So 83 overall, 85 finesse. He's not bad. He's not great. He's also not asking for that much, so I might aim for him. So we end up trading 32 this year, a 3rd and a 6th next year for 23, which we're going to be taking a pass rusher. At least it seems like he's a pass rusher. He has an A to B finesse. His 40 time is pretty good. He's really the best option, the only option. 6'4", 248. I mean, you got to assume he's a pass rusher. Great speed at a 4.59. That A to B finesse. It's not like he's the best pass rusher I've ever seen, but late 1st, early 2nd, no one else in sight that's even close. Hoping for the best. If not, I guess it's going to be a bust, and Tap gets another shot. And, normal dev. Woohoo! 85 speed, 87 XL. Yikes. Aaron Donald's watching. He's like, for F's sake, just give me some help. That's all I ask. Of course, Jaden George looks pretty good. An A finesse move, 6'2 guy with really good speed and bench. I think you might have to go for him, but I'm going to have to, once again, manually move back slightly. You know what? I don't even care. I just went straight to our pick. If he's there, I don't know why he would be. I'll take him, but we don't really need him that much, and he's here. Does that mean bad, though? Elite excel, elite speed, defensive tackle, a need for the future, not right now. I'm going to take the shot on him. Why not? Normal development trade, kind of figured that, but speed and excel and strength is pretty busted. And now it's crazy trade-up time, isn't it? Actually, did I end up... It's probably a good question. Did I end up getting the guy we were going for, Cosme? Nice, nice, nice. So we don't need a tackle. We could use one more lineman. Not bad. Cosme was actually really good. 83 overall is pretty decent in fairness, but really good at finesse blocking. I mean, look at that. Like, that is a pretty damn good-looking tackle. His strength must have went up quite a bit, too, because I'm pretty sure Cosme's like 84 or 85 strength in the game to start, so not bad. Weird rebuild. Maybe being carried a little bit by Aaron Donald, but, I mean, it's getting there. I mean, 4 straight Super Bowls and actually building an okay roster here. Kevin Washington, I think that was one of my guys. And it was, so Tiller is going to be the choice of many. I kind of want Terrence Dunn as well. He looks pretty good. So, going to trade up to the Broncos and, if we can, the Jets. We end up trading Bruss, Jaden Reed, and a 4th next year for 73, which, to be fair, isn't the worst trade in the world. Very fast Jaden Reed. It's just, you know, we can obviously see decent wide receivers because of their speed. The AI doesn't usually see those things. Tiller's the biggest need, as we need one more lineman, and here he is. Hidden development trait, W's for everyone. And then with this pick, we're going to take a wide receiver that looks high potential, actually. Once again, we kind of need a wide receiver down the line, and even now, really, you know, his route running looks pretty good. His catching, regular catching, is decent. He's just fast enough with that great speed, 4.41, 4.42, whatever it was. 6'1", 195, welcome to the squad. And, of course, all the players to be hidden, it's him. Looks actually pretty good. Like, he was probably the guy we needed the least to be hidden, because he's a starter, kind of. He'll be the number 3, I imagine, but he won't play as much of a factor as, you know, potentially that DT or the pass rusher. Obviously, he's projected starter, so no one else in the draft for us, which is a little bit of an L. We'll probably try to find somebody of value, but nothing crazy. Hey, I landed a hidden development trait backup quarterback with Mr. Irrelevant. And overall, 74, 73, 73, 61, and 59. So 59 overall for this random hidden quarterback. Great short throwing. His throw power is iffy, and obviously that dev's probably going to be star development trait, and it is. Of course, the starting outside linebacker, Doring, I think that's what his name is, 78 finesse. I mean, I guess he'll start. Not the greatest pick, gonna be honest with you. What about George, 73 overall? Once again, not hidden either, but he was 21, so he has a lot of time to develop. Block shed's not great, but his finesse is super talented. Just, you know, needs development. Tiller, the hidden development trait. Is it left guard we need? I don't know what the hell we need. I'm just gonna put him at left guard. I think that's what we need. Actually, no, it's center. We need center. And he is another superstar, basically center. And then the 73 overall, Dunn. Very good catching, short route. You know, route running's decent, release is all right. Juke ability's up there. Very good catching. What's his dev? Kind of want him in the teens for his number. Wow, there is not a lot of options here. What are the options? 18, 15, 11. I guess 11. Star development trait. All right, here it is for the most likely final season. I got to put Stafford at like an 85, 86, but roster looking decent. Just need to dev up for Murphy, really, and it's not bad. It's not a bad squad. Obviously, looking at the defense, you know, it would have been nice to develop some of these guys a little bit faster. Tony Grimes, a guy that's just kind of done his thing in silence, and hoping he can continue to be good, as he's obviously 85 man, 80 zone. We like these things. 111 mil, Jalen Ramsey. I think he's good for at least another 2, maybe 3 years. So let's do a 3-year 67. Happy to re-sign. Deshaun Elliott. Okay, they make me go the wrong way. What is his actual ratings? Because he's not asking for like the craziest contract I've ever seen. And he's a decent overall. 85 zone. I'd prefer to do a 2-year. If you would rather do that, that would be great news. Nice. What a guy. Just what a dude. What an absolute dude guy. Of course, tons of money as you'd expect, and no one really to pay. I'd probably rather just use George instead of Gaines going forward. So, yeah, I mean, we got our money right, but our roster's lacking. And the playoffs, where we are the division leaders again, and we have a bye week. All right, we take those. That is nice. So 5 straight Super Bowls potentially inbound, as we're going to have our best chance yet to do so, or, you know, make the Super Bowl again, as we don't even have to play in the wild card round. However, that's the first time we haven't. So is that a bad luck charm? I also seen Cooper Kupp had himself a season. Stafford, really good. Kareem Hunt, pretty good. Kupp, amazing. Marquise, decent. Murphy, okay. Done. We don't talk about blocking. Really good for Madden. Donald, his worst season yet, but still a good season. Wooden has been actually really good. Verse finally wakes up, and then Doring, 7.5, not bad for a rookie. Kicking, really good for Matt Gay. I mean, I'm glad we kept with Matt Gay, because he actually has been pretty damn insane. Award wins, Cup probably outside of that, though I can't imagine. Gardner Minshew, the MVP of the league as a Viking. These are things I did not expect to see today. Interesting. Of course, a couple of awards, but nothing else. You know, it's pretty much all just Cup. And here it is, going on to the divisional round. Can we make 5 straight? Can we win 3 Super Bowls? Obviously 2 for ourselves, but 3 if you count real life. Let's find out, as it's going to be the Packers. Wonder who they have at quarterback at this point. It's Bobby Wagner's there, which is quite interesting. Here it is, the weirdest, maybe most successful rebuild of the year. And it's looking okay to get to the championship round. 14-7, 14 all. Right before half, we get a touchdown, but we don't get the extra point. Matt Gay, what is wrong with you? About to be the fourth quarter, up by 9. They cut the deficit to 6. They now cut it to a 1-point lead. And with a 1st and 5 looming, this isn't looking good. I mean, at best case, we make the stop. Anthony Richardson appears to be the quarterback. We make the stop, and we get like 20 seconds at best. We get some help, but once again, Aaron Jones takes a while to go down on top of it. It's not looking good. We're honestly, even though we suck at defending things usually, Dobbs is a superstar. It's kind of cool. You'd kind of hope they throw this, but it'd be really dumb for them, so we're going to run commit Price, and, I mean, we get a chance. We do get a chance, but it's really not looking great. Come on, shank it. I think you have to kick returner, right? Like, you have to. It's not the greatest kick. And Peck, nice little cutback. Preston making a good play there. Please be on them. No, you idiots! Where would he have been, like the 30? The 34! You know, you're looking at whatever the hell we're going to have to do here. They're bringing a blitz here, which is a little surprising. And Marquise. Really? I mean, how else do you want me to play this? Like, this is literally the best option. And maybe the tight end to the right there, but I mean, get your right foot down. Got freaking Bigfoot feet over here. Look at him. Biggest feet for a tiny guy I've ever seen. Cooper Kupp. I kind of want to switch sides, though. We're going to be going to the youngster Dunn. I just think we need to get deep if we're going to try to, you know. There's no way. Oh! Dunn gives us a chance. I'm just saying. Why do they always put the one guy in his own? Like, is it just to, like, separate, like, spread out the freaking defense? Come on, get a block, guys. They do get a block. Stafford might have overthrown it. Has a chance, though. And number 11 almost caught it, but of the wrong team. Stafford overthrew it. That's just such a Stafford thing to do. Oh, it's a Hail Mary from like 60-plus yards out. Oh, I'm going to overthrow the thing. Come on. Well, no 5 straight Super Bowls for us, but 2 Super Bowl wins in the rebuild. Playoffs every season. Even when it felt like we were in mid-rebuild kind of mode, like physically. Losing to a Packers team that, I mean, looks even less man than us. That's absurd. At least we didn't miss a field goal or anything like that. We did miss an extra point, which didn't end up mattering because Marquise Brown can't catch. But if he would have, and that extra point would have happened, we would have lost out on a game-tying field goal potentially. But let's take a look at who wins the Super Bowl. It's probably not going to be the Packers. So they kill our dreams and then don't do anything with it. Exactly. Panthers, Chiefs. We beat them last season, and it is the Chiefs winning because they do not have to face anyone like us. Any dev-ups from the team? As we see none, not even the tight end. And then on defense, Wooden is now an X Factor. I really got to take a look at him. He has had himself a career. 2 superstar linemen, which are insane. Normally I wouldn't look, but Riley was so good. I'm curious. I mean, he needs to play tackle, dude. He's 6'1", but he needs to play tackle. Somebody give him a different frame. somebody. Earl Murphy, 83 overall. Catching got better. His route running got better. Speed didn't really get better, but he doesn't really need to. He's 6'6", 85 speed's great for that. Cooper Kupp obviously regressing hard as, he may even retire soon. 33 is getting up there. Speed's still actually pretty damn good, though. Kareem Hunt, he's probably getting close to retirement, too. He's 31 years old, superstar dev. If he's an X Factor, maybe, but he is still really talented, so that regression probably will hit soon, but not quite yet. Marquise Brown really wasn't, great for us. He had a good couple of seasons, but, he was already great before he joined us, but now he's superstar. Done. He just started, so there's no point in looking at him. Ernest Jones, like I said, a guy that I did not expect to kind of do well for us, but he did with his play rec, 90 play rec. He had 2 camp standouts, and I went with play rec both times because obviously his tackle's great. So he is a very good player. This is an insane build, especially for someone that doesn't start out that great. Those are rare ratings to see. That good of play rec, tackling, block shed, and zone is pretty insane. Lambert, he was kind of a newer guy as well, in fairness, but let's take a look. Good zone, but once again, terrible block shed, awful play rec. Let's take a look at Price, who's an 83 overall. Once again, another younger guy, 84 zone. He looks like he has a bright future ahead of him. Jalen Ramsey, still a 99 overall with 2, upgrade points waiting to be used. 98 man, 98 zone, 99 press. Just absolutely insane. Donald regressed, but I don't really care to see that. I imagine. Dorian actually went up in dev. Not that we're going to play this anyways. Grimes looks pretty good. His jumping just got up +1, it seems, as well. Maybe he's catching a couple as well. Or no, it's just the +3 for whatever, morale thing or the coaching stuff. And then Wooden, the guy that was just insane. Now an X Factor. Still 80 block shed, but 97 power move. Strength off the charts. He is a freak. Abilities absolutely suck, but he is so good. And a very weird rebuild, but I like it because it's a different style rebuild. Normally we wouldn't have this kind of, situation where it's like you win out the gate, especially with a team that you don't really feel is great enough to do it, but they did. So even though it's definitely not real life, relevant or representative, because they are definitely in a spot where it doesn't look like they're making the playoffs, fair enough. It was still a fun one because it was different. Let's also see if any retirements happen. Probably Donald, but you never know. And Aaron Donald retires. It's weird because, you see guys that are, worse and older, but it's because they're older in real life that the game's, coded specifically to not see them retire. You see them retire, 37 or something like that. It's weird because he's just 35 and he's 90 plus overall and they still make him retire. It's crazy, but it is what it is. I suppose in real life he is kind of on that kind of cusp anyways. And he's talking about it. Eric Kendricks is gone. Sam Martin is gone. I also seen that Thielen's gone. He just must have been someone else. Maybe he was a free agent. Must have been on a different team or something like that. But that is going to be it for the LA Rams rebuild. Like I said, sorry if you're a Rams fan and you wanted something a little more closer to real life. I just went off what the game said. I forced the wins and losses the way they were supposed to be, other than that Cardinals loss, because like I said, I felt like the Cardinals are going to win, but I started the recording just a little bit before they played. I don't think it would have mattered anyways, because they literally won every single game in Sim other than the games that they forced lost, so we still would have made the playoffs. Wouldn't have changed the trajectory at all. Just a weird one where, even with the Rams playbook on, which apparently is juice, especially for wide receiver 1, and both sides of the ball, defense, same scheme, is good enough with this squad to make some runs. I don't know what's going on with the Rams in real life. I feel like they just don't have enough receiving options, and I don't know, Stafford's really regressed. Maybe that, the injury stuff, like we talked about earlier in the rebuild, really are, causing problems. Maybe he's one of those early retirement candidates. You never know how someone's health's going to go, right? Some people, get arthritis in their 20s. Some, have a full head of hair when they're in their 70s. You just don't know. You just don't know. But that's about it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Tomorrow will be one of the regular franchise videos, whether it's Vikings or Seahawks. So check that out. Second channel videos on PKR Plays. Maybe would have been one yesterday, perhaps. And then follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, for random tweets that sometimes come out. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have any ideas for what you want to see next in a rebuild challenge, realistic style rebuild, whatever team, any sort of thing at all, if you have an idea, let me know in the comment section below. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!